Hey, what's up, guys? It's Frankie here. We're going to be talking about what to do when your clients are shit at answering the phone. So let's get into that. By the way, you guys are hanging out in my backyard, poolside. Not quite the pool you imagine you're going to have when you grow up. So I know a lot of you guys got clients who are shit at answering the phone, especially if you work with local businesses. I mean, they don't even answer the phone half the time. And when they do, they say really stupid things, or they can't answer basic questions, or they have no sales skills whatsoever. And at the end, they say, they're all bad leads and it's your fault. Sucks when it happens to you. And I want you guys to have much more happy client relationships that look more like this.
I am sick and tired of these tears, and I'm not gonna cry anymore because I'm fed up and I'm pissed off.
We don't have no bed. He barely have diapers. I take care of my kid by myself.
Sabrina's the type of girl that sleeps around, so I know I ain't the daddy.
Here he is, Andrew. Andrew, come on. When it comes to 4-month-old Danye, Andrew, you are not the father.
Bring it back now. Bring it back now.
That's basically like my whole childhood, that thing. He even looked like me, Maury. He even looked like me. I told you. Excuse me. So, I want to tell you a little bit about this problem and how to fix it, because there's two different reasons it happens. One of the things I remember actually, for a while, Dan and I, Dan, you're out there watching, we did some lead generation for roofers. And I remember actually we had this one roofer named Eddie. And Eddie was kind of like a super redneck. I'm sure you guys at least know what that means. And I remember we generated a phone call and we recorded all the phone calls so we could listen to them. And our ad said something, we ran an ad on Craigslist that said something like 5-star roofing. We had some testimonials. Somebody called up and said, hey, is this like 5-star roofing? And Eddie's wife answered the phone and she proceeded to go, hello, hello. The guy went, yeah, is this 5-star roofing? Confused? Hello. She did it again, second time. And then she proceeds to say, hold on one second, roofing. Puts the phone down and she goes, Eddie, come answer the fucking phone. And he's like, why are you always talking to me like that, bitch? Why are you always doing that? And Eddie and his wife, forget her name, lovely lady, as you can tell, they proceeded to argue and argue for a good probably 7 minutes. Now, at the end of this guy actually stayed on the phone the whole time. And Eddie answered the phone. He said, yeah, this is Eddie. And the guy said, 5-star roofing? Yeah, I do roofs. Believe it or not, you will be shocked to learn that Eddie did not get that business. And of course, it was our fault. So what I wanted you guys to understand, that 50% of the time that this happens is simply comes down to client selection. And it means you didn't screen hard enough for people that actually just know how to do this. Because there is just no way you're going to turn Eddie into a professional phone answering machine. In fact, you got to take that out of his hands entirely. Now, the other 50% of the time, this happens out of clients not being properly expectation set and training them. And I used to not realize that this is actually part of our job in running an agency, is showing people how to answer the phone. Because if you don't do this, by the way, you're just going to generate phone calls for people who think you're shit at it. So one of the things you can do is actually train them. You would be amazed at how many local businesses have the same phone issue come up again and again and not know how to handle it. In fact, I can remember being brought in for consulting for a bankruptcy situation. It was like a bankruptcy lawyer, and they kept getting the same phone call over and over again. So I want you to imagine this. The person calls up, and they say, hey, do you mind just telling me how much a bankruptcy would cost? Now, this is obviously front of mind. The person is losing money. They're, having financial trouble. So, like, how much is this going to cost is at the forefront of their mind. And the person answering the phone said the same thing over and over. They said, well, you know, it depends on what you got going on. And of course, when they got ambiguity and they didn't get like a, look at my Mexican hat here, when they don't get a straightforward answer, what they do is they flake. They say, I got to talk to my cousin, uncle, brother, former roommate, and they just don't come back. Of course, part of why that sucks is because that's your fault if you're the agency owner. And so one of the things you want to do is identify these kind of like key questions that get asked again and again. One of the things we trained that bankruptcy lawyer to do is to say something like this. To say, well, that's a very good question, Mr. Prospect. And just so you know, our average bankruptcy costs between $1,200 and $1,500. It does depend a little bit on your situation. And just so you know, we take payment plans, and also we work with your existing bill collectors. So usually for most people, the payments you're going to make working with us are smaller than the payments you're being asked to make now. So it's actually cheaper to hire us than to not hire us. Would you be interested in having a free consultation? And you would be amazed at how many suddenly bad leads that all flake suddenly stop flaking once they know, hey, this is going to be cheaper than what I'm already doing now. And these guys are going to guide me through this, and I know roughly what it's going to cost and what it's going to take, and they can give me a more specific quote. So having really, really great answers to those basic questions, you would be amazed at how many business. Another thing that helps, by the way, is if they're just shit at answering the phone, is having little automated messages that go out and don't say, hey, you missed a phone call. Say, someone called trying to give you money, and you and your staff did not answer it today. It really gets the point home whenever they get an automated message and they get 5 of them a day that say, somebody called trying to give you money, and you were not there to accept it. So I hope that's helpful to you guys, because this is a really, really big thing in running your agency space. I would suggest that you actually audit your clients on the phone right away, what we call mystery shopping. There's some people we use on Fiverr. Just have them call, do a mock phone call, because you want to like turn your clients into winners, because this is such an important part of any local business. So hope that's helpful. May the force be with you. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe just for the Maury Povich references alone.